Here's the color study I'll be working with. I've created it in Photoshop. It's easy to change colors in Photoshop, and it helps to give me a pattern to work from. After I have a color study, I go back to the line drawing and print out the line drawing as large as my finished artwork. The color study is much smaller, but the line drawing needs to be as large as the finished piece. In this case, it's 9 by 12. This is the pattern that I will use to cut out all of my painted papers. Then I go through the painted papers I already have and audition each paper against the color study. Sometimes I need to paint some more paper that is specific for the piece I'm working on. After I get all the paper that I think I want together, I check to make sure the colors work together. If I'm still not sure, I'll let my brain think about it while I do a different part of the artwork. I like to start any piece with the heads. For this one, I'm using a light table to trace the shapes of the heads and hands onto the back of the skin tone paper. I make sure to trace the facial expressions too, even though it's on the back. When I'm done tracing, I cut them out. And after I have them all cut out, I flip them over and trace with a colored pencil. You notice the eyes I'm going to do black with a little brown, so it gives some dimension. And then just a straight black mouth, opened wide. A little shadow line underneath the chin and along the hairline. To make those white eyes, I take a white gel pen and add white to the whites of the eyes. It really makes the eyes pop and help the kids look more expressive. Now I've got to make the hair. So I needed to check his hairline to make sure it was the same line as what I have on his figure. So I'm tracing it with the light table. Just cut out along that line. And I have my pattern ready to cut the colored paper. Because the colored paper here is a dark brown, I can't see it through on the light table. So I've developed this technique where I just glue around the edges of my pattern and glue it down and then cut it out. If I have a previously cut edge like this here, I will cut it first because there's nothing along that edge to glue it down. And then I'll go around the edge that is also already glued down. And you can see it doesn't stick because I didn't glue in the spot that I needed. I'm just cutting his ear so that that piece of hair can fit behind the ear. Nice and neat. Looks like I need to cut a little deeper. And his hair is done. Her hair I do similarly. Because it's ponytails, it's got to be right against her headline. And then I'm going to draw those pigtails. That one I drew a little edge to it, but this one doesn't have any extra little tabs because it will be on the front. That one will be glued on the back, and this one will be glued on the front. Next, I'm looking for their clothes. Because you don't see the whole figure, I just need a shirt for each of them. So I'm just going to draw a shirt for her and then cut it out of the pink. I'm doing the same thing as I did with the dark brown. I'm just gluing the pattern on top of it, and then I will cut it out, making sure I don't put any glue in the middle where I would like the shirt to be. And I do the same for him, for the little boy. That shirt just wraps around his neck and he kind of gets stuck in there without any glue, but I will glue him later. There we have them, all the kids in their hands, ready for the next step. Got all the pieces cut out. Now I want to go backwards and glue the hair on and the clothes on, and then I'll glue on the hands. Looks like the hair got a little big, so we got to trim it a bit. And this is where the little extra tab comes in handy, so I can put it behind, and that one in the front doesn't need one, so we'll just stick it right there. As I stick him on, I have to remember to put that hair behind his ear and line up that shadow line. Then we go on with the shirt. It looks like I glued it differently than I planned, so I have to cut off little extra shoulders of the shirt. Now his is already there, so I'm just going to put a little glue underneath, and I don't have to take it apart again. Just arrange it where I want it. There he is. Cut off a little bit of those skin tones coming through the shirt, and that way I don't have to do a whole body underneath. Now I've got some scrap paper, and I'm just trying out the different crayon options I can use to see which one's going to show up best, and then I can confidently add details to her shirt. And I'm going to do the same with his shirt, seeing which of the crayons is the best option. I don't usually go buy more crayons for this. I just use the crayons I have already, and they're not really crayons. They are Faber-Castell, I think. Not sure. Sometimes as I'm drawing, after I've cut the paper out, I realize I've drawn something wrong, and that's what this is right here. And so I need to recut it a little bit to make it look right. Now I'm looking for some crayon to do some highlights on the hair. Trying to decide between the cream and the light orange. It looks like I chose the orange. Probably didn't want too much attention on the hair, just enough to make it look natural. Looks like I ended up with two different colors to do some highlights in the hair. Orangey pink and something more like, looks like yellow ochre. Though doesn't look like I used it for her, just for him. All the pieces together. And with the magic, there we go. Now I'm going to put some detail on the inside of the oven door, and so I'm using that same paper to find out which color is going to be the best. It looks like I already did some white, and this is a yellow cream. It looks like I decided to go with the yellow cream to add detail. Now it's time to add the pan. So since this is a glass pan, I'm going to use a technique I did in this glass bottle where I just use the edges of the pan and let everything else be transparent around it. So here I am just cutting out some light blue paper in the shapes of the edges of the pan and then gluing it on. And there we are. It was fun to make this. I hope you enjoyed watching it.